Welcome to the Voice of Vicious podcast. Welcome to the Voice of Vicious. I am your host, Vanny Vicious. Guys, I'm sweating. Look at me on a microphone, bro. What the fuck? Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Voice of Vicious podcast. Happy Friday. Thank you guys for tuning in. I'm your host, Vanny Vicious. You can find this podcast, new episodes, every Friday on YouTube, Rumble, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify. Just search for Voice of Vicious. You can also catch us on Twitter, Instagram, all of that good stuff. So welcome, everybody. Today, I am joined by my good friend, Mr. Robbie Ripoll. Say hello.
Hello, everyone.
How are you?
I am good. How are you?
Good. Chilling. So, for those who don't know Robbie, he is the owner of Rad Inc. in Melbourne, Florida. He was on Ink Master season 5.
The Rivals season.
Oh, that's right.
Yes.
How was that?
I was the only one with like a real rivalry.
Yeah.
So like everybody else was like
Acting.
created, yeah. And like we weren't acting, but we were reenacting moments of our lives. It was a very weird thing.
How do like artists get treated on those shows?
Not like the talent that they go in thinking they're going to be treated like. So like I went in there and it did elevate my platform for sure, right? Like I did it in 2014, so almost 10 years later. My career is still impacted. My platform still continues to grow because of it. You know, the way that Donna sells me for tattoos in real life, at home, and at conventions is just, she uses the buzzwords,
Of course.
That Ink Master word changes people's viewpoint on who I am. If we're getting treated poorly, Donna will pass them one of my cards, like, doesn't matter who the fuck they are, right?
She's like, do you know who the fuck this is?
Dude, we could be in the doctor's office and Donna will hand a motherfucker a card and be like, have you ever seen the show Ink Master?
And why is he waiting 20 minutes to see a doctor?
More so like, don't treat us wrong because we're somebody, bitch.
Yeah.
And it's really funny because like she only pulls it out when she needs to. But to see it still affect my life this way is wild.
Yeah.
Right? So it was a cool thing. It was a very hard thing. They didn't treat you like humans as much as like a cog in a machine.
Yeah, I feel like that about most like reality shows. Yeah.
So there was a thing that went on and somebody really lost their temper one night and punched a fucking hole in the door and shit.
Why do I feel like I know who you're talking about?
You probably do. No. If you're thinking, no.
Oh, okay.
No, somebody else.
Robbie and I go back.
Yo, son. So, this dude punched a hole in the wall or kick a hole in the door or some shit because they triggered his PTSD because somebody close to him had died and like something got fucking triggered for him and he lost his shit. And I go outside with the main producer at some point in the night and I'm like, Andrea, how the fuck can you do this, dude?
They did it on purpose?
Well, like, nah.
You don't know.
I'm like, these are people's lives and this shit isn't even real. And she goes, well, it's a real reaction to a produced situation.
Oh, great. Thanks.
So, like, I went in there. The name of my shop was Chapel of Love at the time.
Right.
My brand was love, like, and it still is, to the core and to the foundation of it, right? But, like, superficially at that point, I was settling into, like, love being a real thing for me. Like, I had discovered that love was my center a little before that.
Yeah.
So then I wanted to inject it in my business. And that was really hard when you think you're going on TV to
you
like
go in there, you're like, what's happening? What is this shit?
Dude, and like they had bought me like a bunch of new outfits the day they sent me home or like the day before. Like they didn't want me gone, but I couldn't been there no more. Like it was done for me. Like
yeah.
I now wish I had more mental fortitude then because I would have gotten further on the show. And it would have elevated my platform even more, right? The longer you're on TV, the more you're in people's living rooms. But like, dude, we go to fucking theme parks and shit and people come up to me and it's weird.
You're also very recognizable in comparison to like, Joe Schmo or whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
The bright pink dreadlocks, 6 foot tall, one fucking leg, this one next to me, usually a little crazy child who looks like a feral creature. He's the best. So, you know, like, yeah, we're very easy to recognize, but it's cool because Ink Master, when I just gotten there, Jason Claydown, the one that won my season, you know, one of the first nights he was like, dude, this place gives you a platform to do something. And I didn't realize what he was saying then. You know, at that point, I thought I was going on TV to change the world right then and there.
Yeah.
And then I was going to come home being rich and famous.
Mm-hmm. No, you go home and you use the experience for what it was, and you know, gain opportunities from it later.
Right.
Yeah.
And so, like, so funny little weird roundabout story. We just went to this one venue in Orlando to see the emo orchestra, and this band Escape the Fate was the band, and then there was this electric orchestra behind them doing a whole bunch of like emo cover songs that we all know and love, right?
That's
so
awesome.
We're there, I'm tattooing the band, and at some point in time I'm like, oh shit, this was the place we did our Ink Master like celebration party for the release. And then like Affliction and ES from the first season both show up. Dude, I'm in the limo that fucking Longnecker got, and I'm just like afraid to come out of it, right? Because I still didn't know how to be seen at that point.
Yeah.
You know, all I wanted to do was be seen, and I didn't know how.
Mm-hmm.
So like I'm trying to be seen, but like terrified to be seen.
It's weird too because it probably feels like it happens overnight. Like, all of a sudden, everyone recognizes you, and you're like, what the fuck?
Dude, and it was weird. And in this moment, I'm about to walk down. Like, they had a fucking red carpet. Like, dude, the way that this thing was laid out was wild, right? And it was like, it was our time to, like, really soak in what we were about. And I remember getting out of the limo, being terrified, bouncing around like a bag in the wind, bro. And then I seen one of my homies who flew in from California to surprise me, and I latched on to him.
Yeah.
And he was my safety, right? But I realized when we were fucking at this place tattooing the lead singer of Escape the Fate, that was the same venue that we did the Ink Master thing.
Mm-hmm.
And ES came up on the stage and he was like, yo, be prepared for your life to change forever after this. And I was like, that's some heavy shit.
Like, scary a little bit.
Bro, and like ES isn't big in social media, and he doesn't go to conventions a lot, so like that was like the only time I really ever seen that motherfucker other than on TV. And it's my first time on TV, and now a dude from TV comes and whispers some ominous shit in my ear. Like I don't know if I'm
told this with his fingers and
bro,
shit.
and like I don't even know because I'm on stage and I'm like, what the fuck is even happening? You know, like I guess we're having a question answer panel or some shit.
Yeah.
Like it was such a blur of a night and there was lots of vodka. So you know, like, and I was just so scared and so weird. But I guess that's like a good way to paint the picture of what it's been like.
Yeah.
Because it did change my life forever. When we first met, she thought Ink Master was corny, and we were supposed to be a disposable relationship.
I mean, I agree. I thought it was corny too.
Right.
I only watched the seasons where I personally knew people were on it.
Right.
Yeah.
And you know how you change your mind about that?
Mm-hmm.
Traveling with an artist who was on Ink Master and booking his shit for him. And then going around places with him. And you realize, oh, we were people in traffic a minute ago, and now this dude's fucking famous.
Yeah.
You know, like lines of people waiting to talk to me, just to talk to me.
Yeah.
And then they all fucking follow her too. So all these people want to fucking talk to Donna too. Mm-hmm. So like, dude, we've created this brand and this platform based on who we are, but like with Ink Master as like a really large, accolade, you know? So like it changed the fuck out of my life. When I left, when they were driving me to the airport, I was like, I'll never do this shit again. Now I'm like, yo, I hope they call me.
Yeah.
You know? So it's like, it's a weird thing.
So you would do it again?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It would be hard, but like I'm more financially stable. I have even more of a story to tell.
Yeah.
Donna's at home taking care of shit rather than what was going on last time. Nobody's going to be misplacing money. I'm gonna.
How long are you gone for the shows? Well, I guess
it depends how long you're on, and like if you make it the whole way, I think it's like 6 weeks.
Okay, that's not too bad.
Dude, it's really not that bad. But when you're in it, man.
Yeah.
I saw this quote on social media before I went on Ink Master, and it was like, "What's chaos for the fly is normal for the spider," and I was the motherfucking fly. And like now I laugh at the fly.
Yeah. Because
I'm the spider in a lot of things, you know, and like, but because I've been through a lot of shit, you know, and like, dude, I fucking lost my leg after that shit. You learn patience in a situation like that, or at least some idea of it.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it was
I can't imagine, because obviously I have my legs, but you know, anything with health, like that shit is a lot psychologically. Like fuck the pain, fuck the physical aspect of healing from something. Like psychologically learning to live with a disorder, a disability, or whatever, it's a fucking lot.
I mean, dude, like, you know, like this is really
Camera's getting it.
This is what's going on. Like, that's what it feels like. You know, like.
For those just listening, Robbie just kneed me with his knee. So
no, that was the end of my nub. Oh. You know, my old calf. Like, yeah, because what happened? They cut down.
True, because your knee's right here.
Yeah, my knee's here. Yeah. So that's like, it's this weird gelatinous thing. Amazing. Yeah, it's wild.
Tell us, because I wanted to ask you about that. Yeah. Obviously, tell us what happened. The whole thing.
So we traveled a lot. When we first met, when I met her, I was going through a divorce. I was like 8 months out of it, and you know, I was insane, and like I was terrified of everything, and just wanted to like cry all the time. Mm-hmm. You know, that was
same, bro.
Right? Yeah, divorce is harsh. Feel you. Yeah. If you're going through it,
you'll get through it.
Yeah, you will. You always do.
Suck it up, guys. Suck it
up. And like that was my second divorce, so I knew I was gonna make it through it because I made it through my first one. You know, and then like. Murder is happening if there's a divorce with this one. I don't know who is murdering who, but somebody's dying it. Like, we ain't divorcing. Mm-hmm. So, you know, like, at that point, I was like, I got to do this alone, you know? And I was deep in my, like, mental wellness journey, my emotional awakening. Mm-hmm. I was being broken the fuck open, right? So, like, you know, this one comes along and we're supposed to be, like, a quick, disposable relationship. And then she finds out the value of Ink Master through dating me.
Oh, shut up.
Dude, no, seriously. She thought I was stupid and she made fun of me. And then, like, all of a sudden we go on the road and she's like, damn. All right, I thought Ink Master was corny, but I'm going to use this.
So it was supposed to be a temporary thing and you were taking her on the road with you?
No, well, we met on the road.
Oh, okay.
So, like, we went on the road as, like...
I was going to say, shut up, you loved her.
No,
no. Come with me.
No, so it worked out because I met her on the road. And then we were like, look, if we're going to do this, we got to kind of date. Like, so let's go on the road. Let's do a show together.
Yeah.
You know, like we'll work together, we'll live together, we'll have fun together, and we'll see if it sucks. And it was great.
We'll see if it sucks.
Right? And like it turned out really cool.
What a beautiful love story.
Right.
If this doesn't suck, we can hang. So.
Right. And like fate was our thing, and that's why we both have fate tattoos on our face now, because like she always said, you know, it's just fate. And I always was like, shut up, bitch. And now it's like, yeah, you know, she was right. Like everything we do is fated and we do find our ways. Mm-hmm. So like she found me, I found her through this weird 8 months after my divorce situation.
And I was gonna say it probably felt like it wasn't the right time, but it was.
But you know, and anytime I was like, yo, I'm fucked up. Yeah, I know. Mm-hmm. Like, no, leave me alone. No, it's all right. I love you. Mm-hmm. You know, no, like I'm still in love with my ex. Yeah, I figured.
It's
you know,
healing in a way though to have that support system. Right. And yeah.
To come from a marriage of not getting that same amount of support, you know, like so it's like. Everything can look perfect if it wants to.
Of course.
But if it actually is good, it's not going to be perfect because there's a lot of up and down.
Yeah.
So, you know, she comes along. My 17-year-old son was living with us because she moved. She quit both her jobs. She was working for Mike Chambers and working at this sports bar and like making decent money, great credit score. I says, bitch, I ain't paying your bills. She stopped paying her bills. Fuck her credit all up.
She had a 750. I said, move in, girl.
Dude, she had like an 800. Yo, it was gnarly. And I was like, no, I'm not going to fucking pay your bills. So like her credit went to shit. And I was like, dude, look, I don't even want you around me. Like, this is crazy. But, like, don't leave me. You know, so.
Be at an arm's distance from me. Can you just hang out in the next room?
Like, can I just tell you you're worthless, but I love you sometimes?
But please don't go anywhere.
Yeah, don't go anywhere. Like, I'm just projecting.
This is all me, babe. This is all me.
I told you to leave me the fuck alone, bitch. So, and it's funny that the story of me losing my leg starts like this because like she did come around before, but like that house we were living in got sold right out from under us. And the landlords were cool. We didn't expect the house to sell that quick. Yeah. It was the third showing and the bitchiest real estate agent. And we were like, well, fuck it.
Well, we gotta go.
Right. My credit's fucked at this point. Her credit's getting fucked at this point. So like, cause my ex had fucked all my credit and shit up. And like, and then took all the money. So like I had no money.
Yeah.
So like, and then I had no worth, and so I didn't realize I could make money.
The man mentality.
The artist mentality too, you know, like it was hard, man. And so she comes along and, you know, she moves in, and then we get, you know, the house gets sold, and so my son goes to live with friends. He finishes his last 6 months of high school. We went on the road, and by the time he graduated high school 6 months later, I had broken my leg off. So her car was a lease, so we turned it in. The car I had didn't work out, so we went and bought a new car in my name, and then we just went and lived out of the car. I don't want to say we lived in the car, because we never had to, like, we were never in like a dire situation.
I mean, people come through and help out and
whatever. Well, we were working.
Yeah.
So we were going to conventions, so we were living at conventions at
hotels.
At hotels, fucking doing guest spots between conventions and staying at homies' houses.
So this was after you broke your leg?
This is before. So this is after we get, you know, out of the house. So for 6 months we're rolling around, and like we get the RV. That was like the goal at this point. Yeah. We get the RV. She drove the whole way from North Carolina to California in 21 hours or 24 hours. And then like,
trooper.
Then we took a nap at a hotel as soon as we got to California, and then went and looked at the RV that we were going to buy, and it was the wrong RV. It just like it looked better in pictures and this and that. So I was like, oh fuck. So now I'm fucking scrambling on Craigslist looking for an RV. So we find an RV, we buy an RV, the last $12,000 we had at that point. And it just so happened to be included with a tow dolly for the new car that we just bought to drive around and live out of, right? So now we have this RV, we have this car. Things are scary. We're, you know, like we hadn't settled into what it's like to live in an RV yet. And we barely even fucking know each other.
Yeah, 6 months in the relationship. You barely settled into living together at all, and now you're gonna cram yourselves into an RV.
Right. And like she's fucking like, when we left the house, she's like going through all my stuff, like just dismantling my old memories of my marriage that I didn't want and I couldn't face. And she's like, I'll help you pack. Dude, she's like, this bitch spent what at Wish.com? Like, dude, losing her fucking shit for me. So I'm like, and like, I just remember I was like, thank you so much for helping me sift through this. So like, from the time she came along, she was sifting through my life with me. We go on the road. 2 weeks later, I remember I took a shower in a really small fucking RV shower for one of the first times ever, because we just had it.
Yeah.
Parked in this weird parking lot that we really weren't supposed to park at, but we were there, so they weren't going to tow us.
Yeah.
And then I went to go suspend that Friday at Kansas City. And so I was going to suspend, and then a friend was like, yo, come to the ball game. And it was a dude that worked for Saturday at the time. And he asked me like 50 times, go to this ball game. And I was like, why do you want me to go to a ball game? I'm here to work. Like, I just bought this RV, you know, and like, still in this fucked up money mentality with the, you know, my old life. I don't have time
to go to a ball game. I gotta work.
Bitch, thank you. Yes. You know what I'm saying? I'm not here to fuck around, dickhead.
Yeah.
So I convinced him to take her, and he must have asked me 50 times, dude. Like, when somebody asks you that much, you tend to like question why if you're listening. I wasn't listening. Well, I was. You
weren't paying attention. You heard him, but
I did, and I was gonna go tell the guy I was gonna suspend with that night I wasn't going. So I finally listened, and then a side quest shows up, and this dude's like, "Yo, what are you doing?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm gonna go to the ball game." He's like, "I want to get tattooed." I was like, "No, I'm going to the ball game." He goes, "I got money," and so I didn't ask how much money. It was $200. So I stuck around and broke my leg off for $200.
A lesson in greed,
yeah, greed, fear, insecurity, lack mindset. You know. So I was very worried about money. So I was like, I'm here to fucking work. All right, fine, we'll fucking work.
Yeah.
When it should have been, no, let's go get drunk at the ball game, because that's what's supposed to happen with the homie. So, so then I tell Donna, I'm like, yo, you go to the ball game. So Donna goes to the ball game. Remember, we're 6 months in. She doesn't really know me at this point. And she's not really left my side at this point. So she goes to the ball game, and then she gets a phone call. Robbie broke his leg off. And so I have it all on video on the Rad Movement YouTube, because I had the guy that I tattooed take video for me. Because I do the motivational speeches before my suspension performances. So it was just for content purposes.
So for those, in case you don't know what suspension is, you basically, you get hooks put in any part of your skin, back, knees, whatever. And
chest, face, butt.
And you hang from a rig, basically.
And it's very, it's very meditative. It's accomplishment based.
I've heard. I've never done it. I don't think I could.
It's dark and it's scary, but it's bright and it's happy. So like it's that roller coaster.
It's like plant medicine.
What's that?
It's like plant medicine.
Yeah, yes. It's like very up and down, but it's the ride that we live on, and it's the ride that teaches. And this was the ride that taught me at that moment. You know, like face your fears, right? Motivational speaking. I used to get down into my underwear, getting in front of down in your underwear in front of everybody, like.
The most vulnerable you could be.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, and then like doing something scary in front of all these people and then using their energy to draw in your energy. When I do private suspensions now, it's totally different. I last very not long because it's like just for me. Like, so I'm just like going and doing my thing. When I got a crowd, I'm stealing all that energy that's being thrown at me.
Yeah.
You know, like,
and it probably like everybody like screaming probably wants you to stay up longer than you necessarily want to.
And like I'm screaming and fucking egging them on. You know, I get to be the hype man that I've always wanted to be. You know, like it definitely heals a lot of parts of me, and it gives me the ability to punch. I can have a fucking bar fight, full on rage. And nobody gets hurt. Yeah. You know, my holes heal, but it might take a little longer the more I jump around up there. And so I used to do this thing where I would shock load, where you would pull yourself up and then drop into the hooks again. Right, because the whole crowd does that. And like, it's.
I used to get nauseous watching suspension
Some
shows.
people would, yeah. And like, for me as the performer, there's a little ego there. Look what I can do. I can control these people. Yeah. You know, I can make them feel. I like making people feel. So like I got to make people feel, but also I got to have fun. Yeah. And I got to be crazy Robbie that nobody had to have a talk with me later. You know, because like crazy Robbie usually tried to fight the bar or something. You know, like, so we ain't trying to be that no more. So it gave me a lot of these positive releases from negative weird things or negative perceived things. And so, so I fell and I broke my leg off. I shock loaded down, and as I came down, so I run into my suspensions, and I usually time it with the music. This song happened to be Turned Down for What? So I run into my suspension and I'm swinging. So now everything I'm doing is in time with the music on accident, right? Because I ran in on purpose. So now I'm swinging and I grab one of the fucking, because it was a 4-post, like A portion where it goes like 2 big triangle type things that come in the center. And so like I grabbed one of the legs on the outside, and then I was like, man, I'm really fucking low. Because usually I would like climb up it and then climb to the middle and then like do a pull up and then like drop down, you know, like, so now I'm doing a couple different things and it's all wild and you don't know what's happening. So I was like, oh man, I'm not that fucking high. I don't really want to climb this whole pole. That'll be kind of a boring show. Right. So I decide I'm going to let go. And so I was like 6 to 10 feet in the air, depending on at what point, because it was like a pendulum swing. And so I like let go, and then I never stopped going. And then I came down and my leg went.
So which part of your leg broke?
So like here down.
Okay. Like your shins, like
yeah, like this whole bitch right here popped off, and the only thing holding it on was the skin. Yeah. So like everything was severed, like it was super weird. I'm sitting there like the dude that fucking did the suspension's like, I'm fucking like, whoa. It was really, really, really weird and scary and surreal, and I still don't believe that's my story.
It is fucking scary because I obviously, you know, having severed my Achilles tendon a few years ago.
That shit sucks, dude.
And so, yeah, it's fucking terrifying. It happens and you're like, ow, wait, oh my, and then like adrenaline and you're like borderline blacking out and what the fuck, and everyone around you is like, holy shit, like not helping the situation at all. You end up in the hospital like, yeah, maybe I need a cast.
That's what I thought.
Like, surgery right now. You're like, what the fuck?
Dude, it was like instant heavy drugs and then surgery in the morning and like...
Did they immediately tell you we have to amputate?
No. I feel like that original surgeon had a little bit of ego around not giving in to losing the limb. Whereas I feel like the guy that actually cut my leg off like his ego journey was, let's be big, strong, break bones, and help people regrow without their limbs. So like, I like that ego better, right? Because like, that's like, no, I gotta be strong, not I gotta pretend and get good numbers over in this bitch. You know, and like, it just depends, because some people are like, yo, I'd rather have pain with my limb than without it.
Yeah.
I'd rather be able to run and wakeboard and take my leg off if I need to. You know, like I sit on the left aisle on airplanes so I can take my leg off and stretch out and nothing happens. You know, I don't trip nobody with this long ass leg that ain't there. So like, you know, you find your silver linings in it. But like, yeah, it's just one of those things, like, you just learn to live with it, man. It's just what it is. You know, your shit that you go through, everybody's got shit they go through. That's why I love that meme or that saying, you know, like, be kind, because everyone's fighting a battle you know nothing about.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. And on social media, even more so, you don't know what the fuck people are going through.
Yo, for real.
People think I'm like every day, like, doing some cool shit, doing a shoe, fucking whatever. Like, no. Like, sometimes I'm in bed, like, crying. Like, I don't know what's wrong with me today. Should I go to the hospital? Like, every day is like a contemplation of if I should go to the hospital because of a new pain or a new symptom or a new something. Right.
And like, how much of that is like your actual pain, and then how much of that is you worrying about your pain?
The trauma, like, from the shit that you've been through. 100%.
Like, how can we fix what we're going through
100%.
here? Yeah, man.
100%.
Yeah, so that was how I lost my leg. I was suspending and the leg broke off, and then it was a 9-month battle to try and keep it. Then I went in on a Monday for a routine checkup because we were traveling around.
Yeah.
And then we were in Philly, and this one dude was like, please go somewhere and stay there. He goes, where are you going when your tour's over? And Donna said Florida. So he goes, go to Florida now. And he called a doc, and that's my guy. And he's like, slap a Band-Aid on him and send him down. I was like, that's my kind of motherfucker right there. So that was our doctor that we went with until the amputation. And we only had 1 or 2 surgeries with him. And then it was a Monday. We came in for a routine checkup. And, you know, we were discussing the infection that was in there. And he's like, you know, it always...
The infection developed because you waited?
The infection developed... The first surgeon was like, oh, I probably should have done this, and this infection wouldn't be here.
Oh, probably.
So that was cool.
Okay.
So, like, awesome, man. So, you know, he probably cost me a lot of surgeries physically that I had to go through. But he was like, yeah, man, it usually announces itself. I'm like, check us out, dog. I'm going on the road in 2 weeks. What happens when I'm on the road now for 6 weeks from now? You know, what do we do with my leg? And he's like, well, you know, it could get worse. And if we have to amputate, we could have to amputate more. And I was like, all right, well, what's going down? And he's like, well, you know, we could amputate you. Like, that would probably be your best bet if we wanted to get in front of this thing. Because, like, I had been on all kinds of antibiotics, like a PICC line to the heart and shit. Like, dude, fuck all that noise. I ain't trying to live in, like, medical bullshit.
Literally, antibiotics are the worst.
Oh, dude, and you know, you just turn white as fuck, and you just,
your
like...
stomach's just fucking destroyed forever,
dude,
after that.
I was just fucking numb, it seemed, from life.
Yeah.
And I was tired of being a hospital patient.
Yep.
So, he was like, well, we could chop it off after you come back, and that's the 6 weeks, and, you know, I was like, okay, well... He goes, well, what about Friday?
So casual. What are you doing Friday? You want to cut your leg off, or?
And like, this dude makes me feel kind of small, because he's a big dude, and like, I start bawling, and then he just kind of sits there.
Oh god.
Waits for me to finish crying.
They need like a fucking therapist there in the room too at the same fucking time.
Well, nobody expected it that day. Dude, it was a routine checkup, man. Yeah. You know, so we're sitting there, and then there's like this either like junior doctor or nurse's assistant or something, like taking notes and shit. Yeah, so like they're
fucking people doing their residency and shit.
Right?
Like, what the fuck?
So they're there for this, and then she's just in the room, like not saying a fucking word. I don't even remember like if she hugged me or anything or what happened.
I mean, probably shock.
Right.
Everybody's just in shock.
And then like, you know, once that shock went away in a couple minutes, it was like, look, check this out. We're going to schedule for Friday. If you need to cancel at any point in time, you can. And like, that helped me make the decision to do it. I had wanted to cut my leg off 6 months ago.
Yeah.
And like, we were sitting at a hotel when my son graduated high school. And we're watching TV, and this TV show comes on. I've never seen this show before, heard of it before, or seen it after. But it was like this first responder tattoo show, and this cop got shot in his leg, and it like hit the main artery vein or some shit, so he had to have his leg amputated. He was back on the force 8 months later. Mm-hmm. And then we see this fucking commercial, and somebody's running on fucking the running blades. And then in fucking Iron Man, we just happened to watch Iron Man, and it's the part where the camera zooms in on a little girl's fucking amputated leg. So like at that.
So you were getting all the signs to go to the baseball game or the ball game, and then you were getting all the signs afterwards.
Right.
Yeah.
So like that was the night we decided to cut my leg off, but none of the other docs would. So when Langford and Orlando was like, yeah, no, let's do this, I cried because I was scared, but also because it was a relief.
Yeah.
You know? And then
because like finally it's going to be over. Finally I'm not going to have to be on antibiotics. Finally I'm done with this fucking hospital. Like. And
then I can walk again, because the way they had my leg set up, I wasn't walking good.
Yeah.
And like I don't, dude, I'm a tank. I need to barrel through things.
Yeah.
So like I can do that on this leg.
How was the physical therapy afterwards?
None. They didn't give me none.
No?
They were like, you're young, you'll figure it out. Everywhere I went, I was in a couple different states, a couple different hospitals, and they were like, yeah, you're young, you're in good health, you'll figure it out.
That's kind of crazy.
It is. But like,
so, okay.
I appreciate it, because the way they did therapy for me, like the 3 times they did, it was real annoying. I was like, this is stupid. Like I could fucking do yoga right now with this missing limb.
Yeah.
Like you're questioning if I can walk.
I understand 100% what you're saying, because I actually had my physical therapist on the podcast yesterday.
Really?
Yeah,
okay.
She's great. But when I fucked my Achilles tendon, I would go to therapy and they were like, can you pick up these marbles with your toes? I'm like, bitch, I need to be in the gym. What the fuck do you mean? Can I pick up marbles with my toes?
Let's get some fucking boulders in this bitch,
what
son.
What are you doing? Like, help me walk. Like, I don't care about marbles like a monkey for a fucking hour. Just there, pick them up.
You know, so it's funny. But
that's impatience too.
Right, and my answer to physical therapy was, let's go to the gym and let's get to 1,000-pound leg press. Mm-hmm. I don't know why I needed to do that.
Well, it's a goal you set for yourself afterwards, yeah.
And like it was an ego thing, but it was also like I needed that to know I was strong again.
Yeah.
And like the response I got from people around me in the gym was, I did it for me, I didn't do it for them. Mm-hmm. Like I had a dude strip my fucking weights one day because he was like, that's impressive, bro. And I'm like,
I got you, don't even get up.
And I'm just like, whoa, what's going on here, right? But like, to me, and then I watched the Ronnie Coleman documentary before the gym one day, and I was like, I don't need to lift heavy anymore. Yeah. Like I did it, and so I think a lot of it was my own mental gymnastics that I put myself through.
Well, also probably before you wouldn't go and try to leg press 1,000 pounds. Now it's like, wait, I have to prove to myself that I'm not fucking fucked up.
So the verbiage is different. It was more, I wanted to prove that I was a one-legged monster. So like that was like I had to tell myself that I wanted to feel, and I needed to transmute the monster inside of me that is very angry and very negative, and I needed to give him an arena to play in. Yeah. And so like so that's why I like suspension, because it lets my monster out. Mm-hmm. It's scary. Yeah. You know, like my dark passenger, as Dexter were to say, doesn't necessarily kill people, but goddamn, we think about it, you know, and like I'm the main person we think about killing. Yeah. You know, so like when I get to do these hard things, I know, okay, I'm capable. Yeah. You know, I can do this and more. And so now I can dial back and I can find my...
You know you can do it, and that's enough.
Right. Yeah. Like I bought a home gym, a Bowflex gym, and like when I do the leg press there, I like have to laugh. Yeah. Because I'm like, this is so pussy. And then it forces me to be like, okay, dude, remember, we're not here for the ego shit. You're here to like get healthy.
Longevity.
Right. And like using your legs a lot in this less strained motion, you know, just making it slow movements, you know, doing it strong, and, you know, just doing it right rather than doing a lot. Yeah. You know, so I'm finding you got to soften. You got to slow down.
Learning how to calm your fucking ego down.
Son.
I know. Believe me, I know. All these injuries and all this shit I go through, and I go to the gym and I'm like, I used to do this, and I get mad at myself. I'm like, you remember the size of my fucking legs? Like, this is not how I'm supposed to look. And I get mad because I'm like, dude, I've lost like 3 inches in my quads. I used to be fucking quadzilla.
Dude, your legs were fucking
jacked.
So jacked, bro.
Jacked.
Yo, I remember when you were at the height of all the fucking fitness stuff.
Yes.
Like, and that used to give me motivation. Like, if this little fucking thing can go ahead and fucking get this going down, like, all right, cool. Anyone can accomplish any body compositional change.
Yep.
And like, it doesn't mean that you're not inspiring people. It just means you're inspiring them in a different way now. Yeah. And that's hard to put grace on yourself. So now it's like I talk more about like diet and gut health and nutrition and how you feel on the inside. Because as you get older too, you kind of stop like, what the fuck? I'm almost 40. Like, I don't give a fuck about having big legs. But then sometimes, ego kicks in the gym and I'm flexing and I'm like, come on, why isn't my quad fucking popping pussy
like
ass
that?
legs.
I know. I'm like, I look weak. I feel weak. What the fuck, you know?
I must be 90 at this point.
I know. But then, you know, I go to the gym with my regular ass friends and I'm out lifting dudes sometimes. Like my guy friends, you know? And I'm like, maybe I'm not so weak. Like,
so, and so like the imposter syndrome, right? Not having enough grace for self.
Yeah.
You know, things like that, they show up regularly. A lot of the time where the ego is, right? So the gym is, it triggers the ego, man. Yeah. So I remember I was at the gym one time and have you ever heard of the pit shark machine?
Yes, I love it.
It's amazing.
My favorite.
It's so dope.
I know.
Bro, I'll put fucking 10 plates on each side of the fucking pit shark and fucking throw that belt around me and squat like a fucking madman, right? That one was fun. Because like I was able to do 1,000 pounds on that, like it wasn't even a goal.
It's a great machine because the weight's not on your back.
The distribution is so perfect, and you're using your legs, and like the fulcrum point is your legs. Like it's phenomenal. So it was very easy for me to use, and I could use a lot. So when I'm like 6 plates on fucking leg press, I'm like 8 plates on this motherfucker.
Yeah. And
so it came too easily to me. So it felt like a cheat. And I thought I was cheating. And I didn't think I was strong. And I was like, why? I remember at one point in time I'm in the gym, I'm like, why is this shit so easy? And it only leg stuff. Because, you know, I've always been a big dude. So my legs have always just been... strong. This is what we've been working toward, baby. Yeah. You know, like, so...
We're growing this ass over here.
Bro, for real. So, like, my legs have always been strong. So, like, I then see somebody, like, struggling AF with 1 plate on this bitch. And I'm like, what do you mean?
You're like, okay, I'm strong.
What do you mean I'm not cheating? Yeah. Like, it was like, I took the fucking glasses off and I was like, holy shit, I am strong. And I think... we have a very hard time acknowledging where we are strong.
Yeah. Yeah, we focus on where we're weak and what we're lacking and what we're missing and what we can't do. And it's like, we forget that we're fucking dope as fuck.
Right.
Like at other things.
Right. And that's why the rad movement came from the I'm rad tattoo, to remind myself that I'm rad. You know, and remind others that they're rad. And like, you're rad, man. Like there's these fucking gifts that you've been given by the universe. Like, and you have to do the dark shadow work, and you have to do, you know, the facing yourself. Yeah. And looking at yourself as a reflection and healing some old traumas. And like, you know, I used to wonder, how do you do, you know, inner child work? Man, just pay attention to where your fucking triggers are. And that'll usually lead you back to, oh, as a child, this felt like that. And now everything feels like that. So like, go to a therapist, fucking do plant medicine, whatever the fuck works for you, dog. Yeah. Bro, I talked to aliens, my dead dad, and found compassion for my oldest son, all on a fucking mushroom trip recently. But like, I was bawling my face off and it hurt. Yeah. Like the type of crying that physically hurts you, but it's like also cathartic. Yeah. Yeah.
And then after the trip, you're like, wow.
Bro, I fucking summoned dolphins to come play with me, and manatees come over and fucking...
You know, you're the second person this week to tell me that they summoned dolphins on a mushroom trip. I'm not even kidding.
So, okay.
Crazy.
This dreadlock is my avatar dreadlock, all right? It's got all the chakra stones on it, but it's my dreadlock to remind me that, like, the way they were in the movies, they were all connected to each other and the land. And it's just a constant reminder that we are connected to our land and each other. And it's very hard to remember that when you're in your head. When your monkey mind is going crazy. When you are focused on the pain. You know, Donna's got chronic pain. I have chronic things that...
everything.
You know, like this fucking thing, you know, like I have gout. Like, dude, like there's just a lot that goes on. I have high blood pressure. So like, that's always something I'm trying to get in front of, you know? And it's like, man, like you're always going to have some things to worry about. Yeah. So that's why plant medicine journeys are great. That's why therapy is great. That's why, you know, find your church. Whatever church feels like to you, find it. Like for me, at the wakeboard place, going around the third turn, you know, with my fucking face feeling the fucking sun and just riding, like, wow, that's church for me. That's like the closest I can get to just like not worrying about anything and truly living in the moment for myself. Yeah. And I don't think we do that enough. Yeah. You know? We're
too focused on money and work and what we got to do and this and that and the other.
And look at where I am. I'm feeling the wind. I'm fucking in the water and I'm fucking having the sun fuel me all at the same time. So I'm in nature in this modern man's way, right? But also when I walk my dogs, I walk off the concrete and stand in the ground. Yeah. You know, when my son, when he was a baby, I would sit him down between my legs and just look at the lake behind our house. Now he goes and sits down and he pats next to him for me to come sit. You know, so like, I make sure I remember to take those breaths in those moments. I have an alarm on my phone that reminds me to breathe. Yeah. You know, at 8 o'clock, you know, fucking just gratitude and breath. You know, so all that leg stuff brought me around to finding a better life too. Yeah. You know, like.
Is this what brought you around too to doing the YouTube channel and like advocating media channels and stuff like that?
I wanted to kill myself after Ink Master, so like this started then. I Googled how to be happy one day and I found a guy named Brendan Burchard, and he's brilliant, and he just, you know, just practically helped navigate depression and things like that. And I was like, damn, the tattoo world needs to hear this because it saved my life type shit. But I'm just going to throw some fucks in there. And
make it my own.
Right. Yeah. You know, because all of this motivational stuff, all this business content, it's just history repeating itself. It's just good information, you know, and we just hand this information over and over and we turn it into our own words. Yeah. You know, so I was like, man, I need to do this because it helped me so much. Because I went from I want to die to I want to help others not die. Right. And like then tying that back into my leg stuff, when I was going through my leg stuff, I was like, man, I'm the rad movement guy. I can't do this wrong. You know, like I can't complain and bitch and say, well, it's this guy's fault and fuck this and blah. And I did that sometimes, right? Because it's okay not to be okay. It's not okay to stay that way. Yeah. But like, yeah, I had to find my way around.
I mean, it's natural too, because you wonder, like, why did this happen to me? What, like, I deal with that too with my health shit. I'm like, what did I do to feel this shitty all the time? And
she's been saying that a lot lately.
Yeah, and my autoimmune stuff stemmed from an abusive relationship. Like, my vagus nerve got so fucked and dysfunctional that it was fucking with all my organs, basically. My labs, look, like 2 years ago, I had doctors like, you need to see an oncologist, like, right now. And I was like, what the fuck? I didn't. I went to a functional doctor. He changed my diet. He put me on an array of supplements and whatever. And everything started to fix itself. And then recently again, in May, I had to have a surgery. I'll tell you guys about that afterwards. But it flared up all my symptoms again. So I'm still technically like healing from that. So it's like anytime I go through stress or trauma or whatever, my body's fucked. And I found myself a lot being like, why, like, what the fuck? Because I've always stayed in my lane. Like, I mean, you've known me for, like, I'm quiet. It seems like I'm out there in the world. I'm really not. Like, whatever.
You do what you do, and then you do what you do for your brand. Yeah. You know, but you don't really fuck around with a lot of people.
Exactly. Like, and then I've found myself thinking that, like, fuck, dude. Like, what did I do to people to deserve this shit? And I also found myself blaming this dude. Like, this motherfucker gave me this, and this. And then, you know, other times I'm like, why did you allow yourself to fucking sit there for that long?
And those were the lessons you needed to learn in the moments you needed to learn them. And like, it's okay not to be okay. It's not okay to stay that way. And you know, we go and we disappear, we come back. And sometimes we just needed to just rest.
Yeah. No, and now my like relationship bullshit monitor is like on 100. Like now I fucking meet people and I'm like, no. Like,
right. Well, like, dude, that's the thing. Like, when I was single and, like, Donna did fit the criteria of somebody that fits into my lifestyle.
Yeah.
You know, but I was like, I can't date, like, a teacher or a cop. You know, like, oh, yo, I'm going to go on the road for a month. See you later.
That's like people that tell me, like, you should date, like, a doctor. I'm like, what, are you out of your fucking minds?
Like, that'd be cool in theory.
Yeah.
But, like, lifestyle is a major thing, you know? And we're all nuts, right?
Yeah.
We have to find the other nuts that we can mix with so we can have some nice mixed nuts,
yeah.
you know? Like, and, like, for her, she fits who I needed in my life to complete that love puzzle.
Yeah.
You know, and you're not going to take the wrong person. That's why she was a temporary human. And then, like, no, she's not a temporary human. Like, all right, she might be somebody to, like, fuck with. You know, and, like, you have to keep up those barriers of, all right, you're a temporary human, you know? Like, I've been in the area I don't want to be.
Yeah.
But, like, you know, you also get to explore this new life with these new challenges that bring new silver linings. Because there are. You just have to look for them. You have to fucking acknowledge them. You have to sit with them. Sometimes you have to milk them a little bit, you know? Yeah. But, like, you focusing more on the positive than the negative is always going to give us a better life. But it's hard to do that when you're in pain. So it's a weird thing. It's like, what am I supposed to be learning from this?
Yeah. Okay, because I know art is obviously a form. You could keep your water up there.
Oh, true.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Obviously, art is a form of therapy for a lot of people, and, you know, being creative and stuff like that. Do you think that tattooing is still therapeutic for you, or do you have to find, like, other routes now because of all the stuff that you've been through?
So it's cool because, like, with me, I've found that my tattooing is therapeutic. I never ever say that anything I do with coaching or tattooing is a replacement for therapy. It's a supplement too. Yeah. Right? And it's got therapeutic nature. So when people come into my chair, man, I'm an intuitive healer. So, like, I know how to give you what you need. And a lot of the time you don't even know what you need, and I can see it. So, like, you know, Donna was just saying it earlier about how, like, people will come in and, like, they don't know what they want, and, like, I start asking questions, and all of a sudden their eyes light up and they get excited and they're like, wow, I didn't even know I needed this. Like, I tattooed one of my favorite musicians last year, and he was like, man, I didn't know how much I needed this session. You know, and so, like, I've heard that a lot. So now I just lean into the fact that I use healing in my tattooing. Yeah. I started saging motherfuckers, and I sage the room as shit.
I love it.
You know, like, I'm actually going to go next door to the place that's a hippie store and, like, buy a grip of candles and, like, light an intention candle for every client, and then, like, give them that candle when they leave if it doesn't burn all the way out. But, you know, just things like that. And we're going to start, instead of my booking form being like, what do you want to get tattooed, blah, 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 like, what are you facing in your life? What's your major struggle?
Well, a lot of people get tattoos just because when they're going through shit, they're like, I just want to feel pain.
Right.
Or whatever.
And I do it too. Like, I don't suspend as much. So, like, now I get tattoos a lot more. And I'm going to tattoo my whole torso to, like, my own, like, I'm going to do it myself. So, like...
How the fuck?
I don't know, dog. I'll figure it out.
With 13 mirrors and fucking
Bro,
upside down.
That's it. I'll do it with mirrors or, like, looking down. You know, I can look down at a lot of my torso. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And then I'll do the mirrors for the rest. I can paint ambidextrously, so
you're
I'll
gonna
probably...
film that, right?
Yes.
You have to.
Yes. Yeah. So my camera guy, like, wants to make, like, a real... So he wants to make a sub-documentary out of the main documentary that we don't fully have, but we're just going to start building of all the shit that we do. Because, like... We do a lot of shit. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, free...
Just get all the footage.
Right.
Fucking...
Yeah. Like, we're doing Free Love Day again this year. We do it every year. It's where we do a minimum of 50 free love tattoos. And the only thing we charge is to go pay it forward. We do a free concert on the back, and we've had people tell us we've saved their lives with that day. So I'll never stop doing it. Yeah. You know? And now I want to actually tell more people in the world, hey, we're doing Free Love Day in September. You do it with us. So whatever your thing is, do it for free. Yeah. Do a free tarot reading and charge them to go pay it forward. You know what I'm saying? Like, anyone that has anything to do for others, do it with the intention of having them make more good in the world from that one thing.
Right.
So like I'm just trying to do all the good things in the world because it just feels better that way.
Yeah.
You know,
that's a cool idea though. I like that.
I'm glad it doesn't really get received poorly, and the people that hate on it are just really sad, miserable fucks.
I mean, that's usually how it goes. Fucking
exactly.
projection city. What advice do you have for somebody considering getting a first tattoo as a form of either self-expression or healing?
Okay. So, there's no such thing as a beginner tattoo in my world.
Agreed. They're always like, I want something little. I'm like, why?
What, you're going to buy a roller skate instead of a
car?
It's
fear, though. It's fear.
Exactly.
Like, they think that because it's smaller, it's going to hurt less. It's the same.
Right, exactly.
It's the same.
Honestly, you go through a period of like it not hurting as bad once you start getting tattooed for a bit.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean, to me, it always hurts the same. You just learn how to zone out of that pain at some point.
And I use a lot of numbing stuff too. So like I'll use numbing products on myself, but like not everybody tattoos like me. My intention when I tattoo is to have the numbing agents affect as much of my tattooing as possible.
Yeah. I mean, you don't want the person in pain. It's like...
Right. And like, I do full days on almost everybody. So I'm like, look, dog, I tattoo you for 2 hours. I tattoo you for 6-8 hours. Like, I'm charging you for the day, homie.
Yeah.
You know, so like, let's just do a big tattoo if you want a big tattoo.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, and then the therapeutic nature of that. There's a mountain to climb today now. You know, but most of the time, me and my client will both be like, wow, that went fast.
Yeah.
You know, I'm sure you've been there too. You know, it's just like, wow, how quick did that go? Holy shit, man. So yeah, I mean, getting your first tattoo should be the tattoo you want, not your first tattoo.
Right.
You know, get it by the person that you think is the dopest. Is that camera still on?
No, but that one is.
Okay. Get it by someone who you think is the dopest. You know, like somebody whose work you really want to wear on you. Think of the story you really want to fucking tell. Don't put 10 ideas into one.
Yeah.
Like, kind of shake the container and see which one fucking comes to the top the most. You know, like I tell people I don't sell regular tattoos. I sell dream tattoos. So what's your dream house look like in tattoo form? You know, I'm selling Bugattis and Lamborghinis and shit.
I mean, it's on you forever, so you might as well get the dream tattoo and not the little one you think is going to hurt less or take the least amount of time. Or,
exactly.
Yeah.
And, you know, chances are if you cram a bunch of shit into a wrist tattoo, I could have covered your whole forearm in another hour.
Yeah.
You know? Like, so let's do the real tattoo, man. You know, like let's do the tattoo you really want to do. Remove fear from it. Pain and price are two things that go away. So don't base this lifelong thing on two things that disappear afterwards.
Yeah.
You know? So yeah, that's definitely the best way to look at it. If it's not the day to get tattooed, it's not the day to get tattooed. You know, I will talk more people out of getting tattooed by me than into a lot of the time, because it's like, oh, it's a Thursday and you want a tattoo. Well, you're in luck. I'm here. But these are my prices and this is what I do. So if you wanted a tattoo like this, I could probably put you with somebody. But like, I'm gonna do a fucking masterpiece on you. You don't ask Bobby Flay to fix you a sandwich, bro. You know? And so like, you know, I know what I bring to the table. I know what I want to do. I know the type of art that gets me jazzed up. And when I'm jazzed up, then I'm doing better tattoos.
Yeah.
So, you know, like, if I don't have a connection to what I can put on you, I don't want to put it on you. So if you come to me and you're like, yo, I'm not ready for you, that's fine. Go find the the tattoo artist that wants to work smaller.
Yeah,
you know,
that wants to do your boyfriend's name and shit.
Or
a zodiac sign.
Right, or a micro portrait, because I can do that, but I'm not really into it that much. You know, I'd rather do a portrait covering your whole body part.
Yeah.
You know, so like, go to the artist that feels right. So, man, if pizza was the best food on the earth, then, you know, it would be known. But it's not. You know, like there's no one thing. So there's no one way to pick your first tattoo, but pick the right tattoo for you. And if it ends up being your boyfriend's name or something tiny or whatever, bro.
Go to the right person.
Go to the right person. Get the right tattoo for you in that moment. Because I got a ton of cover-ups.
Yeah.
Most of my body's a cover-up. My whole torso is going to be a cover-up.
Black arm, I know.
Bro, yeah. Like, I've seen this arm be reworked once or twice already. I saw this one get covered up through the internet. Like, yeah, man. These arms are totally different than when we met, you know? Like,
I always tell people the same shit. I'm like, just think about it. Come on. Like, especially kids, like 17-year-olds that are like, I want my last name across my back. I'm like, okay. How long have you thought about that for?
Right. You know, like, and you know, well, your dad had it. Cool. Like, do you want to expand on that idea?
Like, your dad also got it in the 80s.
Right.
Like, we've evolved since then.
So, you know, if you want your last name in Old English, let's do it real big at the top of your back and then do a fucking amazing image fucking using the words as a frame that fucking represents your heritage or some shit. Let's cover your whole back. You know, like that's the way I think. My ideas get huge fast.
Yeah.
But like that, not everybody's for that. Mm-hmm. So, you know, find who's your who, you know, like that's the way to do that.
Well, I wanted to thank you for making the drive and coming down. I appreciate it.
Yeah,
Let everyone know where they can find you.
Okay, so it depends on what you're looking for.
Okay. Give them all the channels, all the Instagrams.
So my Instagram and my Facebook are how you talk to me personally. That's Robbie Ripoll, ROBBIE RIPOLL. I am still moderating all that myself. And the Rad Movement is on YouTube, on Instagram, and on Facebook. I'm less active on those on YouTube, on Instagram and Facebook, and I'm leaning more into it on YouTube again. As you know, it's kind of difficult to keep your content moving. As a life coach, you can find me through my personal channels. I do group and one-on-one coaching, and also my program, the Rad Academy, powered by the Magical Motherfucker Method. It is going to be 2.0 because I am bringing in a board-certified therapist and licensed mental health expert to be a counterpart in my teaching for that group course. So you can reach out to me personally to get that. As far as tattoos go, raddingflorida.com. That's how you book with me. And if you are interested in, you know, doing the deep soul work during our sessions, we do offer these super soul sessions. So we're going to be adding that to the website. I mean, it's basically what I do anyway with everybody, but at least instead of being like, yo, what do you want tattooed? It's like, what are you going through? How can I assist you? How can I support you emotionally? And then that'll also help me figure out what tattoo is meant for you too. Yeah. So it's a cool thing, playing around with you know, all the good stuff in the healing field. So if you are in need of healing of any sort, I got you covered.
This is a man right here.
And will this air before July 20th?
No.
Okay. Well, we do this cool thing at our shop called the Human Narrative. We pick one word and we talk about that word. And a lot of these are on my YouTube channel, the old ones that we've done. But, you know, we have a group of regular speakers that go up and speak on this one word. And then I open the floor for anyone else that wants to speak. And it's a really powerful room to watch everybody, like, do the things and talk and share their struggles and their stresses and their pains and their accomplishments. And, you know, it's really cool.
That's cool.
So the one word this time that will already have been done by the time this airs.
You guys will see it.
Yeah. It's called, this one's going to be Love. And it's our 1 year anniversary of doing this. But it's been a really transformational room. So I urge you, if you need to do something that's scary, do it. And don't stop doing it. Because stopping doing things is what keeps things from happening. Yeah. So
agreed.
Yeah.
Shit. Ending it in a bang.
Hey.
All right, guys. I hope you enjoyed. Happy Friday again. We will catch you all next week. Bye.
Bye.